All right. Welcome to the stove. This is episode number 13. We're doing shooting guards. We did point guards last time. We're gonna do shooting guards today. But we're gonna start first with the draft. So the draft took place about a week ago, and we got more news too. Theo John.
Yeah,
the
that's what we
dra-
want to talk about.
the
Theo
draft
John.
took place about 2 weeks ago, well, a week and a half ago now, and the Celtics didn't really have a pick. They picked Davison in the second round.
JD.
JD. Let's
I
talk
think we all know what that stands for.
Let's talk about the Timberwolves draft, though. So
We
the
don't have to.
Timberwolves.
We
Why don't
don't
you
have
tell
to.
us who they drafted for?
We don't
us?
have to talk about this. I really don't want to talk about this. It really hurt me.
Who'd they draft?
Well, we ended up drafting Walker Kessler and what was the other guy's name? I don't even remember. Oh, Wendell Moore. We ended up getting Wendell Moore. I mean, I don't think they'll be horrible.
I think Walker Kessler will be good.
Yeah, I mean, I think he'll be okay, but I mean, that's not who we needed. We needed a point guard.
Branham.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted Mikhail Branham or I wanted Ty Washington, and they were both right there. They were right there. And what did the Timberwolves do? No, we traded down just like the Vikings. So the Minnesota
teams.
Yep, we keep it going for some unknown reason, but yeah, really disappointing draft for me. I mean, I thought excuse you. I thought Mikhail Branham was an absolute steal at number 19. He would have been a great pick there. But yeah, the Timberwolves folded, and yeah, we suck again. So
okay, well, the Celtics didn't really have a pick. So let's talk about the top of the draft.
A really shocker.
Yeah. So Banchero was taken 1. Not only that, Keegan Murray was taken above Jaden Ivey.
Yeah.
And Ben Mathurin was taken in the top 6. So that kind of surprised me, all 3 of those. So it was really one of the most confusing drafts I've ever seen.
Yeah,
because I felt like no team drafted what they needed. They just kept drafting who they thought the best available was. And there was nobody. I mean, who had the 4th pick? Was it
the Kings?
Was it the King? Or was it no? Jaden Ivey went to the King. No, Jaden Ivey went to the Pistons. Yeah, so it was the Kings. Like I would say, the Kings don't really need Key. Well, I mean, I guess they could, but like, I don't think Keegan Murray is better than Jaden Ivey. So Keegan Murray's really good, and I think he's going to be good in the NBA.
Yeah.
But Jaden Ivey to me is like the next John Morant. So I mean,
yeah, he's great.
I mean, I would have made an argument to take Jaden Ivey above Chet Holmgren, but that's another argument for another day.
Yep, that is.
So, but I think you agree with that.
I do.
Okay, good.
I'm not high on
I think
Chet
Jaden Ivey was the 3rd best player in the draft, maybe 2nd.
Yeah, behind Jabari Smith and probably Banchero.
Yeah, but the Magic took Banchero, which kind of surprised me. I think OKC was kind of set on Chet Holmgren, but Sam Presti is a really good general manager, particularly at drafting and trading. Those are the 2 things he's so good at: is getting trades and drafting. He obviously is great at trading, considering the 18 first-round picks they have over the next 5 years.
Insane.
And then to top that, he's a great drafter. He drafted Kevin Durant. He drafted James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Serge Ibaka, Reggie Jackson.
Don't know what that noise was.
Nobody here with us. Just me and you.
It's a ghost.
Us 10. Who else did he draft? He drafted somebody else that I'm not thinking of. But Steven Adams, that's who it was. That's pretty good over that really stretch of time. Kevin Durant was kind of a gimme, but Russell Westbrook was not a gimme pick. And James Harden wasn't a gimme pick. And Serge Ibaka wasn't a gimme pick. And Steven Adams wasn't a gimme pick. So Kevin Durant, anybody in that situation was going to draft Kevin Durant. So that's not really that shocking and that incredible. But drafting Russell Westbrook and getting him the production that he got you for the years in Oklahoma City and James Harden, obviously Presti wanted to pay him, but the ownership didn't want to go into the luxury tax, which was part of the reason Kevin Durant left. But that's another argument for another day also. But they were set on Chet Holmgren. And I thought about it some more. And I don't think Chet Holmgren is a superstar player right now. But I do think Chet Holmgren can be an all-star. but I don't think he's a superstar player because I think Chet Holmgren has really good timing. Chet Holmgren has a really good handle for a big man, and people don't talk about, people look at his size and say, oh, he can't play. Well, there's a lot of players who have been that small. And first of all, if you think Chet Holmgren is going to play the center position, that's not true. They're not going to make him play the center. They're probably going to make him play power forward or small forward. They're not going to play him at center because
they better not, at least.
He's a really good shooter. He shot it at 40% from three. He can really handle it. If you ever looked up the video of him with in Steph Curry's camp when he was 17, he had a stupid crossover and got right to the rim. He's a really good shot blocker. He's an excellent passer. And he can keep in front of people. So, I don't think Chet Holmgren's going to be bad in the NBA if they use him right. But the problem is that he's very similar to Chris Paul, because Chris Paul, you always have to shadow him somewhere because Chris Paul is smaller and everything else. He's 6'1". He's smaller. You got to shadow him somewhere so he doesn't get in the way of everything. Chet Holmgren's going to be the exact same way. You got to shadow him.
Really?
That's what Oklahoma said. That's what they're going to have to do. And that's the problem.
You're the Skip Bayless of Chris Paul, I swear.
What?
And you know how Skip is with LeBron?
Oh.
You're that with Chris Paul.
Well, no. But anyway, talk about all the failures he's had in the NBA playoffs. But
there's been a lot.
Yeah, there has been a lot. Yeah. But anyway, Chet Holmgren, they're going to have to shadow. It's kind of a problem. They also have to do that with Luka. So there's some players you just kind of have to shadow into the defense and you have to shadow into other offensive sets because that's just not really what they're good at. So that's what they're going to have to do with Chet Holmgren. But maybe it'll work out. We'll see.
If they play, they better not play Chet at center. But let's say they did, and they play.
That's not going to happen.
Well, let's say they did.
And they what would happen? Timmy at center.
Yeah. Well, let's say that somebody did put Chet at center. What would happen is he would get absolutely bodied by somebody like Nikola Jokic or somebody like, somebody as big as that.
The luxury, though, of having Chet Holmgren, luxury of having Chet Holmgren is you can switch him where he can play the 5 if you absolutely have to have him to, because he has had experience at the 5 position. So I'm not saying Chet Holmgren's going to be a superstar because I don't think that he's going to have all the hype. Everybody thinks he's so hyped and everything. I don't think he's going to be a superstar, but I do think he can be an all-star player.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But anyway.
We're both really not that high on Chet.
No, I'm not crazy high on him. I've looked it up a little bit more, and I've kind of figured out ways that you can kind of do things with him. But the problem is that for him to be successful, you have to run this all the time, and you can't just stick him into a lineup and him just play normally. That's kind of the problem right now. But we'll see. I don't know. Vancouver was taken at 1. That was shocking to me because
it was.
I think we both thought Jabari Smith was the best player in this draft.
I'm
not saying Jabari Smith is going to be a superstar because I don't know if Jabari Smith is going to be a superstar because Jabari Smith is not the greatest finisher at the rim and he's not the greatest field goal percentage shooter, but he is a really good shooter from 3-point range. And he's a really good defender. And I don't think people understand how good of a defender he is. He can switch 1 through 5.
Yeah.
And very few people can do that in the league. There's not very many people that can switch 1 through 5. Kawhi, LeBron, there's not very many, So, I mean, he can switch 1 through 5, which is really tough to do. So, I like Jabari Smith. I think Jabari Smith, I don't know if he's going to be a superstar, but I think Jabari Smith is the most NBA ready at this point.
If anybody in this draft were to be a superstar, I would put my money on him or Jaden Ivey.
I'd say Jaden Ivey, but I would have taken Jaden Ivey number 1 if it was up to me. But
really?
Probably.
Nah, for me, it's Jabari Smith.
I would have taken Jaden Ivey, but that's just me.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Yeah, we will
have to give it a couple years, though, to let him develop.
Yeah. Let's talk about Kyrie.
No. There's one more thing we got to talk about with the draft.
What?
Who do you think won the draft?
Oh, who do I think won the draft?
Yes. I think this is a clearly easy answer for me.
Probably the Pistons.
Exactly. Getting Jalen Duren and Jaden Ivey.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, they got significantly better with those two because Jalen Duren is going to be really good in the NBA, and Jaden Ivey speaks for itself. So
him and Cade Cunningham.
Ooh. Yeah. I mean, you got the best point guard in the draft, and you also got probably the best big man in the draft. If you consider Chet Holmgren a big man, then I guess not. But Considering the best big man, I would say Jalen Duren was the best big man.
If you're not over 200 pounds, you're not a big man.
No, I just don't see him as a big man. But
he's not.
Yeah. Anyway.
If one of us can body him down low, I think he's not a big man.
Who do you think the loser of the draft was? I think this was pretty clear too.
Really?
The Knicks.
Yes, the Knicks.
The Knicks again trading Kemba Walker. You got someone who shouldn't have been going in the top 12.
No.
The Knicks drafting is I just don't get it. I think there's so many people up at the top of the Knicks organization that just tells them who to draft and this and that, and they just like the time ticks down. And they're like, "Ooh, we'll take him." Like it's not good. This team can't draft at all. Every single pick that they have is a bust. Going to Kristaps and
Obi Toppin.
Well, he's not a bust, but he's not going to be an incredible player.
No.
I mean, I guess they got Emmanuel quickly, but they didn't draft Julius Randle.
No.
Kevin Knox didn't turn out very well. So, I mean, they can't draft. They have years of history going back to the 90s of they just cannot draft. And right now, that's a problem for the Knicks. And the Knicks are not going to compete in the East right now. They're not going to make the playoff next year, I don't think, again, because I just don't think that they have no experience with winning. They don't know how to win. It's an organization that doesn't know how to win.
They haven't been successful since Patrick Ewing.
I don't consider the Knicks an elite franchise. I never have, and I never will. And I don't understand why people value their market so high. Like, oh, why wouldn't you want to play with the Knicks? Why would you want to play with the Knicks? Exactly. Is the real question.
They're a dumpster fire.
They're dumpster fire. Dolan is one of the worst owners in all of sports.
Yeah.
They have a horrible management system. I like Thibodeau, but I don't think he's really I'm not a Tom Thibodeau fan, so that's just me.
To me, he's kind of like if you're like a bottom feeder team, he'll make you mediocre.
Yeah,
he won't take you.
He's not going to win a title with them, and I'm not a Tom Thibodeau fan, so that's just me. But
me neither.
We'll see what the Knicks do. They can't get anybody. They thought they were going to get – they cleared cap space because the plan a few years ago was to get Zion with the first pick, get Kyrie and Kevin Durant over the offseason. They didn't get any of those things. And if you would have said they're not going to get any of them, I think most people would have been shocked. Yeah. They didn't get the number one pick. They got R.J. Barrett, who was turned into a solid player. But to me, he's just not
a superstar.
No, not yet. Maybe it will be one day. I don't know. But it's tough to become a superstar in the Knicks organization.
Yeah.
They were supposed to get Kevin Durant and Kyrie, and they turned around and went to the team in the basement and went to Brooklyn. So that was kind of a smack in the face. And that should have been a wake-up call to the Knicks, being like, okay, they wanted to play in New York, but they didn't want to play for the Knicks. They wanted to play for the Nets. Yeah. I mean, that's a problem.
It is.
The Knicks have got a lot to figure out right now. They traded Kemba Walker now, too. So,
and even he wasn't even playing that good.
No, when your best player is Julius Randle, that's just not a good thing because I'm not a Julius Randle fan. I think Julius Randle is overrated just because he plays in New York. Julius Randle, to me, disappeared in that Hawks series last year. He was nowhere to be found. Julius Randle is a solid third or fourth option on a team. He should not be your first option.
No.
And they're not going to win with Julius Randle as their best player. That's just not going to happen, but we will see. So let's move on to Kyrie. Kyrie here, who accepted his option today.
Yeah, I think there's two things we can take away with this is he either wants to stay in Brooklyn with KD.
That's not what it is. He had no leverage.
Or this is like a situation where it's easier for him to leave Brooklyn so he can get traded instead of leaving in free agency.
I think Kyrie stayed in Brooklyn because he had to stay in Brooklyn. He had no choice because
I think he'll get traded.
He had no choice to leave because nobody was going to give him the extension. Nobody wanted him. The talks was that the Lakers were the only team that was interested in him, but the Lakers didn't want to give up very much for him. So right now, Kyrie's stuck in a situation where he's going to have to play for one more year, which, by the way, Brooklyn was the one place where he was going to get paid the most money.
Yeah.
So that's where he was going to get paid the most money.
You don't think that he could get traded?
I don't think he's going to get traded this year. No, I think he'll be there the whole year.
Okay.
Brooklyn season will go very similar to last year.
Yeah.
They will get into the playoffs because they have two really skilled players.
Yep.
They will get into the playoffs. They will lose in the first or second round. That is what will happen again. They're not going to win a title with this team unless they get pieces around it and they get better role players.
Yeah.
Because if they get better role players, they can compete in the East. But if they do not, they're not going to. It's going to be the same result as last year. They're not beating Brooklyn. They're not beating Milwaukee. They're not beating Boston.
No.
They're not beating Miami, and they're not beating Philadelphia with that lineup. They're not doing that.
No.
And right now they got a lot. And I can make an argument they're not beating Chicago with that lineup. So because Chicago's role players are a lot better than Brooklyn's role players right now. So Brooklyn's got to figure out how to play defense. And right now Brooklyn's in a situation where if they don't, at least to me, if they don't get to the finals next year, and honestly for Kyrie, it might be they got to win the finals for him to stay.
Yeah.
If they don't get to the finals or win the finals, Kyrie's leaving, and Kevin Durant is going to leave because they're ready to leave. And I don't think Kyrie wants to stay in Brooklyn anymore because he wanted the max extension and they wouldn't give it to him. So, which I don't blame him for not giving it to him.
I don't blame him at all. I wouldn't have gave it to him either.
Because he's not.
Basketball
is not his priorities. So,
no.
There are athletes who divorce wives who don't have personal lives because they love sports to a fault, where they love it so much where they love their sports more than they love their wife. Like, I think a lot of athletes are like that.
I think there's a certain quarterback in Tampa Bay that's like that.
Might be, but, it's okay. I mean, Tom said he wanted to stay and go home with his kids and help them. Then he saw that math. I was like, the hell with this. I'm going back. I'm not doing this.
He retired and then unretired like a month later.
I know. He can't. And I think Gronk's going to unretire. But I don't know.
It'll be like in the middle of the season.
Yeah, he don't want to play in the summer. So I don't blame him. It's hot in Tampa Bay in the summer. I'm not one to do that. I went down there in March and it was hot. But,
really? Oh, my God.
But the other one was Russell Westbrook, who accepted his $56 million contract today.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Which that's not a shock to me because he wasn't getting any more money than that. So that wasn't a shock to me. The Lakers are stuck with Russell Westbrook.
And Anthony Davis.
And the GM.
They're running it back.
It's kind of sad when your most clutch player is Austin Reeves. But, he's their closer. LeBron doesn't want to close. I've never understood that. Why doesn't he want to close? It's one thing if you're bad at closing and you just don't want to and you just fail at it. When you don't want to close, that's kind of strange. But, why are you passing it to Austin Reeves if you're the best player, the second or third best player of all time? Why are you passing it to Austin Reeves, who's never going to be a top 400 player of all time? Why are you passing it to him? I never understand.
This is why MJ's the GOAT.
It is. All right. Let's talk about our shooting guards now.
Okay.
So,
do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first since you went first last time. And here we go. Let's start out with number 30. It's Max Strus because Max Strus can't play defense. He can't get to the rim. He can't do anything, but he can shoot. He can shoot threes, and sometimes he can't do that. He missed 16 in a row at one point against the Celtics.
And somehow he made a crazy putback dunk and a crazy.
He's got a clutch gene. I'll give him that one.
Yeah.
But Max Strus is number 30. He's undrafted. He can't do anything except shoot, and sometimes he can't do that. So when you can't do when you're inconsistent at the one thing you're really, really good at, that's not good. So Max Strus is number 30.
Agreed.
Number 29 is Melton for the Grizzlies. What's his first name? DeAnthony Melton. He's number 29. Man, he's anyway.
He's not that bad.
No, but
I wouldn't put him that low. I definitely wouldn't put him that low.
Amadou Diallo is number 28, who actually had a really solid year. Scored about 11 points a game.
Great dunker.
Really good dunker. So wasn't he in Oklahoma City at one point?
Yeah, that's where he went to the dunk contest.
Yeah. So he's number 28. Number 27, Patrick Beverly. He's coming in.
You lied to me. You said he was at 26.
Actually, I thought he was at 26. At least at 27 now. I don't know what happened. But number 27 is Patrick Beverly. He offers no offense. And honestly, he would have been a little bit higher, but he came on ESPN. I don't really like him on ESPN. So they went down from there. Probably would have been about 24, 25. He went down 2 or 3 spots because of ESPN. So he's number 27. He can shoot. He's like Max Strus. He can't do anything but shoot and be a pest. He's really not even that good of a guarder, like just pure defense and guarding. He's just a pest. So he's number 27. Number 26 is Grayson Allen because Grayson Allen can shoot, but he can't do anything else. So Grayson Allen can shoot. That's all he can do. Reggie Bullock, same story. He can shoot, and he can't do anything else. He definitely can't play defense. So he's number 25. Number 24, same story. Terrence Ross. He can shoot, can't do anything else. You find that interesting. Now, number 23.
He used to be able to do something else.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Those days are gone.
Yeah. Number 23 is Josh Richardson. I really like Josh Richardson. He's a really good defender and is really, really good, but he's 23 because, well, he's not as good as everybody else. Number 22 is Bruce Brown. Shooting guard, he's way too inconsistent for me. He will score 21 games and then score 2 the next game. So Bruce Brown is 22 because Bruce Brown is really, really average at everything. He's an average shooter, an average finisher, an average defender, and he looks like an off-brand Rajon Rondo. So he's number 22. Number 21 is Buddy Hield, which maybe people may think is low.
Really?
But Buddy Hield is just not as good to me as he used to be. And I thought Buddy Hield would be incredible when he came into the league, and he's not. So, I watched him score 45 against Kansas one night in Lawrence in Kansas. He scored 45. That game was incredible. Kansas won 106-103 in triple overtime. It was unbelievable. Those days are gone for Buddy. So he's number 21. Number 20 is Anthony Simmons because he is so underrated. He's one of the most underrated players in the NBA. Anthony Simmons is 20. Barton, 19. For the Nuggets. He's a pretty average player. We're going to get into a lot of average players here. Malik Monk at 18. He's a lot worse in LA than I think he was in Charlotte. So he's number 18, and he didn't turn out nearly as good as I thought he would.
No.
He can shoot, and he can't do anything else. So once again, number 17 is Immanuel Quickley. Immanuel Quickley is really, really good, but he's really, really average too. So Immanuel Quickley is 17. Gary Trent, same story. Average, good mid-range shooter, good three-point shooter, not a very good finisher, not a very good defender, and he's on an average team. So for that, you're average. 16. 15, Bogdan Bogdanović, which is probably the most average shooting guard in the NBA.
But he is a really good shooter.
He's a really good shooter, maybe the best shooter on this list. So for me, he's number 15 because, well, sometimes he carries Trae Young, which is kind of sad. But
that's not good.
14 is Terry Rozier. Terry Rozier is really good at times and really, really bad at times. So Terry Rozier is 14. He's a good shooter. He's a pretty solid finisher, not a good defender. When Marcus Smart says we're better defensively now because we don't have to, help other teammates out, he's talking about Terry Rozier because of how bad of a defender he used to be, and he still is. Number 13 is Jalen Green, for the Rockets. I love Jalen Green. He's going to be so good, and he's already really good, but he's still got more to prove. I can't put him above all these other players yet. Josh Giddey is number 12. What a year he had. Josh Giddey is really, really good. I don't think he's going anywhere. So Josh Giddey is 12. Number 11 is Klay Thompson. He's just not what he used to be. He can't guard as well as he used to be. He can shoot, but he can't get to the rim. He can't get to the mid-range. So Klay Thompson is number 11. Colin Sexton is 10. Colin Sexton is really good. Him and Darius Garland make a great backcourt along with Evan Mobley and Karis LeVert and Jared Allen. That is going to be a really, really good team at one time. They got to get healthy. They got to stay healthy, and they got to get a better bench.
Yeah.
If those two things happen, that team is going to be a top 4, top 3 team in the East. They're that good. So number 9 is Tyrese Halliburton. Really so underrated. He's really, really good.
Yeah.
And so he's number 9 on my list because, well, he deserves respect. So he gets it from me. He's number 9. Number 8 is CJ McCollum of the Pelicans. Really, really good. Probably their best player. You could argue him or Brandon Ingram.
I'd probably say Brandon Ingram.
Probably Brandon Ingram. But CJ McCollum, really, really good. Number 8. Number 7 is Bradley Beal. He's probably the best scorer on this list. Well, maybe. I don't know. You could argue Booker. But Bradley Beal has led the league in scoring at the All-Star break. It feels like every single time the All-Star break comes around, he's the leading scorer. But he never seems to win a scoring title, so I'm not really sure what happens. But Bradley Beal is number 7. Boston, let's make it happen. Number 6 is James Harden. James Harden is not what he used to be at all. James Harden can't shoot. He can't play defense now. He can't get to the rim. He can't do anything. He's number 6 because, well, sometimes he plays great. So he's number 6. Number 5 is Zach LaVine. What a year. What a career he's having right now. Zach LaVine is really good, man. And he's going to get even better because he's still young and he's still going to get a lot better. So Zach LaVine is number 5. Donovan Mitchell is number 4. He's probably going to leave Utah, but Donovan Mitchell is number 4. He's really good. Number 3 is Paul George because Paul George is also underrated because I think people think he's overrated, but he's really not. So he's underrated. It's kind of the Bryce Harper effect. So Paul George is number 3 because he's an excellent defender. He's an excellent shooter. He's an excellent finisher. He's excellent in the mid-range, and he's really clutch. Yeah. So Paul George is number 3. Paul George is so good. I don't understand why people don't think he is. Number 2 is Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown is unbelievable. He is really athletic. He is probably a top 5, top 10 finisher in the NBA. He is an excellent shooter. He is an excellent defender. He's an excellent leader and was probably our best player in the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
So without Jaylen Brown, that series probably would have been over in 4 games. So Jaylen Brown won us 2 games of those. So Jaylen Brown, he is the tone setter. He comes out, he sets the tone in the first quarter, and he is the closer of this team. He is the best closer on the Celtics. Say in the NBA, don't worry. He's the best closer on the Celtics, but he is a top 5 closer in the NBA. So Jaylen Brown is number 2. Number 1 is Devin Booker. As everybody knows, I love Devin Booker. So Devin Booker is number 1. We're going to ignore the meltdown in the Game 7 because Chris Paul had it too. So, when Chris has it, Chris is your leader. So if Chris has it, then Devin Booker's got to have it too. Well, that's Devin Booker's problem right now. Down. You got to get away from Chris Paul. Get away from him. He's toxic. He'll make you worse. You got to get away from Chris Paul. Okay. If Devin Booker does that, he's going to be a great player. He's already a great player, but if he gets away from him, he's going to be even better. So number 1 is Devin Booker. So there's your list.
Okay. Well, let's get into my list, the most accurate list.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Number 30, Max Strus. He sucks. Number 29, Hamidou Diallo. Like, he can dunk. Can't really do anything else. I mean, he had a pretty good year. So, I mean, okay. Number 28, Bruce Brown. I watched a couple of games, from the Celtics series.
He had a good game 3.
Yeah, but that was about it. I'm not really impressed by Bruce Brown. I do not like him as a player.
He should be a bench player.
Yeah, he should be a bench player.
I'm not bad on the bench.
I'm not impressed by Bruce Brown at all. Number 27 is Anthony Simmons. I do think I agree with you. I think he is underrated. I think he after next year he will be a lot higher up on my list, but I need to see him prove it a little bit more. Number 26, Reggie Bullock. As you said, can shoot, can defend a little bit.
No. Not really. He can't. He's not that good of a defender.
Oh, well. Okay.
He can shoot.
Yeah, but he can shoot.
That's all the Dallas team is. It's Luka and a bunch of shooters. Exactly. And sometimes they make them, a lot of times they miss them. So,
and number 25, Terrence Ross can shoot. Not really anything else. Number 24 is Josh Richardson. Can really defend. Not really much else. I mean, I like him as a player.
But he can score. I like Josh Richardson.
I do like Josh Richardson a lot. I mean, yeah, I think he's.
I wish we wouldn't have given him up. But
I think he's an average scorer.
Yeah, I wish Boston didn't give him up this year, but
yeah, y'all could have used him.
Yeah, but that's okay.
I don't know. Y'all do have like a lot of really good defenders, so it probably would have been a little redundant. Okay, number 23 is
the best big man in the league. Big Al.
Okay. It's probably Embiid or Jokic.
Maybe Robert Williams.
No. Number 23. 10. Number 23, Grayson Allen. I can't stand the guy. He played at Duke. He was the most whiny player I've ever seen in my life.
One thing I think
dirty players I've ever seen.
But I think one thing we can both agree on is he is a lot better in the NBA than I thought he would be.
Yeah, he is.
He is better in the NBA. I thought he'd be out of the league. I hoped he would be out of the league.
At least in the G League.
But he's not. He's found himself kind of a spot, and he's probably going to be in Milwaukee for a while.
He's a good shooter.
Great. Boston's got to deal with him
more. Really good shooter. Not really much else.
No.
Number 22 is Will Barton for the Nuggets. I really like Will Barton. I think he is he used to be really athletic. Little age does that to you.
Injuries.
Yeah, and injuries. I still think he's a really solid player. Number 21, Gary Trent Jr. Like you said, good mid-range, good shooter from the three-point line. Not the greatest finisher in the world.
Who are you talking about?
Gary Trent Jr. As far as defense goes, nothing special, I would say. Number 20 is Patrick Beverly. Really, really good defender in my eyes. He's a pest defensively. He gets in your head. He's really good at stealing the ball. Not really much of an offensive player.
Okay, hold on. When you say good at stealing the ball, he is good at pass perceptions and pass interceptions. That's what he's good at. He's not necessarily good at on-ball steals. I know, but you say steal, people think on-ball steal. He's not good at on-ball steals, but he's good at pass perceptions. And
it's still a steal, though.
It is, but I'm just saying he's not good at on-ball stealing, and he's not, in my eyes, a very good guarder.
Well, he's not.
People blow by him all the time. So he's 6'1". So
yeah, he's not the tallest player in the world, but
I wouldn't say he dropped 45 on him one time.
Kevin Durant's 6'11".
They shouldn't have been putting Patrick Beverly.
Exactly.
Well, you say he's like an elite defender. He should Kevin Durant at least under 40.
Never said he was an elite defender.
He's a very good defender.
I said he was a good defender.
You said very good.
Okay, well, I misspoke.
If you're a very good defender, you got to at least hold him to under 40.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really.
I could say that about Jason Tatum.
Who is he not held to under 40 this playoffs?
Well, Kevin Durant did score like 40 in, what was that, game 4?
On what, 36%, 37% shooting?
Still scored 40.
Yeah, because he shot every time.
Doesn't matter. He still scored 40.
He shot 37% from the field. That's pretty good defense.
I know, but he still scored 40.
No, I think he scored 39, and he also.
Oh, well, damn.
You shoot 37% from the field and score 40, then it really doesn't matter.
He still lost. I know, but he still scored 40
on 37% shooting. I don't think you understand how basketball works if you don't understand that 37% shooting is not very good.
Yes, I know that, but I'm just saying by your logic, he still scored.
He's like 13 for 31.
I know that.
Shot the ball 31 times because Kyrie didn't shoot.
I know that.
So he had to shoot.
I know that. I know that's not efficient at all, but I'm just saying by what you said, he still scored 40.
Kevin Durant shot over 50% from the field when Patrick Beverly played against him.
I know, and that's not good. But what I'm saying is he is 6'1", and he should not be anywhere near Kevin Durant.
And didn't Jason Tatum lock up Kevin Durant for the majority of that series?
Yes, he did, but not in game 4. And that was
he did. He shot 37%.
And he one game you're mentioning, so,
He shot 37%. He didn't even shoot 40% for the entire series. He shot less than 40%.
I'm just saying it was one game.
Or he was scared to shoot. He wouldn't shoot, and he kept turning it over.
Yeah, well, that happened to Jason Tatum in the finals, too.
What does that have to do with defense?
Nothing. I'm just saying.
What does that have to do with defense? We're talking about defense. Keep going. You're just bringing up random points. You're not even, making a point.
No, I am.
What is turnover? What does Jason Tatum's turnovers in the finals have to do with how his defense is?
I'm just saying that Jason Tatum can also do that, not just Kevin Durant. And plus, you're just comparing one game to Patrick Beverly guarding Kevin Durant, and you were comparing. I was comparing another one game to
what game?
Jason Tatum. Game 4
when he shot 37%.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's one game.
Yeah, when he shot 37%.
That's one game, but he still scored like 40 points.
On 31 shots.
Okay. Yeah. He still scored 40.
If you shoot 31 shots, you should be scoring your 50.
Okay, well, he still scored
31 times.
Well, he still scored 40.
On 37% shooting.
He still scored 40.
And they lost.
Yeah, and it was one game, right? Swept. And it was one game, right?
What?
It was one game, right?
One game, what?
where Pat Bev gave up 40.
No, I think Kevin Durant averaged about 30 points a game in that series. That's probably one time he scored 40, but he averaged over 30.
I know, but he didn't score 40
for the series.
Yeah, one game.
And didn't they put Patrick Beverley on John Moran a lot?
I believe that they did.
And Desmond Bain?
No, they put. I'm pretty sure they put D'Angelo Russell on.
That makes sense.
Yeah. God, I can't stand Desmond Bain. Jesus. Anyway, let's.
What was that? You like PTSD?
Yes, it is PTSD. I was going to get Nam flashbacks. Anyway, let's finally move on with my list. Thank you. I didn't put Pat Bev in the. I put Pat Bev at number 20, so I'm not saying he's great.
Notice he says let's continue with my list and then brings up the conversation again.
Let's move on. Number 19.
On you. Keep going.
Number 19, Malik Monk. As you mentioned, really good shooter, I think, but not as good as he was in Charlotte. But yeah, he's nothing really special at anything else. Number 18, Emmanuel Quickley. I think he's solid, kind of average, but he's solid. Number 17, DeAnthony Melton. I think he has him a little bit low for me. I think he's an okay player. I mean, nothing really special, though. Solid. Number 16, I have Buddy Hield. I love Buddy Hield. I think he's still a really good shooter. I think he will have a bounce back year this year. I think he's really solid. Number 15, Bogdan Bogdanovic, great shooter. As he said, bails out Trae Young a lot. We love crapping on Trae Young.
We do because he's overrated.
Yes, he is.
We will do an overrated, underrated list one
yes,
day,
we will. That'll be a great idea.
We will do that.
Yeah. Number 14, Terry Rozier. Not a great defender.
No.
Pretty good shooter.
Not a very good finisher.
No.
Got blocked by LeBron one time. It got stared down all the way down the court.
Yeah.
And the Cavs still scored on a 5-on-4. Yeah. On a 4-on-5, they still scored.
Yeah. Okay.
That 20.
Don't have to talk about it. I know you're getting flashbacks.
We should have won that series.
It's okay. You can take your PTSD medication later.
Okay. I will.
Number 13 is Josh Giddey. Came out of nowhere, in my opinion. I don't think anybody expected him to be that good.
I thought he'd be really good. I just didn't think he'd be so good so fast.
Yeah, well, yeah.
He was number 6 in the draft, so I mean, he should have been good, but not that fast.
Yeah, exactly.
That good that fast.
Yeah, Josh Giddey, great. I think he'll continue to get better. I think he's going to be great. Number 12 for me is Colin Sexton. So not really far off to from where he put him. I just think he has to stay healthy.
Yeah, that's the thing.
When I rank players, I tend to put health above a lot of things. If you're available all the time, that's better than if you're available half the year. If you're injured half the year. Number 11 is what?
Thank you for that.
You're welcome. I was just telling everybody how I rank stuff.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I just rank them by who is the best player.
Okay. God, you're killing me here. Are you good?
Yeah.
Okay. Number 11 is Tyrese Halliburton. Criminally underrated. I think he is an insanely good player.
And a top 5 passer in the league. He averaged 8 assists this year.
Yeah.
8.2 assists. Great passer and can score 15 points a game. You put up 15 and 8 for me, you're in the top.
Really, really good. Number 10 is Jalen Green. I love Jalen Green. He has sky high potential. I think he's going to be really, really good. Number 9 is I still have Klay Thompson in my top 10. I love Klay Thompson. I think he's still a really, really good shooter. I think he's still a solid defender. Not as good as he once was, but I still think he's okay. Number 8 is C.J. McCollum. I think he is still a really good scorer. He is really good for the Pelicans and what they're doing over there. I think him and Brandon Ingram are really solid together. Number 7 is Zach LaVine for me, and great year. I think he'll just continue to be solid for not solid, great for the Bulls. I think he is their best player right now, and if the Bulls can not what's the word I'm looking for? Nail free agency. I think they'll be really, really good.
The word you went with.
Yeah, I love that word. Nail. Anyway, number 6
says a lot about a person.
Shut up. Number 6 is You always interrupt me. You're like Skip.
God, I love that word nail.
There's another word I like, but we don't have to say that on here. Number 6 is James Harden. Really steep decline. Definitely not as good as he was in Houston. I think he is
even worse than he was in Brooklyn.
Yeah, I know.
And gotten fat.
Yeah. James Harden, really steep decline. I think he's still an okay player. I mean, he can still pop off for like 30, 40 a game. Not a game.
Game.
Not a game, but like in a game. But what?
Okay. 40 a game. That'd be like the greatest year of all time.
I didn't mean a game. I just meant in like a single game.
Okay.
Whatever. Shut up. Okay, number 5 is Bradley Beal. Probably, like he said, probably if not the best scorer, definitely a top 2 scorer on this list. I don't know how he's not won a scoring title yet, but I think he might get one eventually one day, especially if he goes to Boston.
It's not like they have 3 other scorers. It's not like they have like 2 or 3 other scorers who will score 20. But
let Bradley Beal do all the work, man. They can focus.
We want to win a title. We don't want to win Bradley Beal a scoring title. I don't give a damn about that.
Y'all have like what, 18, 17 titles?
17, and also these guys have never won one. I don't give a damn about Bradley Beal's scoring title. Go stay in Washington if you want to do that. Ain't nobody gonna mess with that except
y'all have enough titles. Let the Wolves have one, for goodness sake.
A scoring title?
No, a NBA title.
We have nothing to do with that. We're in the East. You tell that to Memphis and Golden State and Houston and well, not Houston, but and New Orleans and Memphis and Phoenix. You should tell them that. Okay. See if they get on board.
We will. Please let us get DeJounte Murray.
DeJounte Murray's not going to win you a title. So.
Well, he's still better than D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah, probably.
And I think he would impact us.
He wouldn't turn it over.
Exactly. That's what we need. Anyway, number 4, Jaylen Brown. I do have him.
As long as he's in the top 5, I'm okay with that.
Number 4 is Jaylen. Great defender, great finisher, great shooter, and one of the best mid-range games in the league. I think, other than Devin Booker, probably the best mid-range game in the league.
And a great finisher.
Not the greatest handles in the world.
No, but he's got a game where he doesn't really need to have the greatest
handles. Exactly.
He just turns it over too much for me. If he can cut down on the turnovers.
Him and Tatum need to do that.
if he can cut down on the turnovers, then he's definitely top 2, and maybe even better than Devin Booker if he cuts down on the turnovers.
Yeah. Number 3, Paul George. I think Paul George is kind of looked down upon just because he's not really carried the Clippers since Kawhi's been unhealthy. Did I say George Paul?
No, I'm just saying. Okay. George Paul.
But yeah, I still think Paul George is a great player. Clutch, great finisher, really good shooter. He's number 3.
Great defender.
Yeah, great defender.
Absolutely great defender.
And number 2 for me is Donovan Mitchell. I love Donovan Mitchell. Kind of small, but he is but he's a great scorer. I think he is as far as defense goes, I don't know.
Not as strong as Sue.
Yeah. But I still think Donovan Mitchell is a great player. He's leaving Utah. Number 1
Boston.
Number 1 is Devin Booker.
Coming to Boston.
Yeah. I love Devin Booker. I think Devin Booker is a great player. I don't think he is that great defensively. But I do think he is the best pure shooter on this list.
I don't know about shooter.
Shooter?
I mean, I'd say Bogdanovich is a better shooter than Devin Booker, but Devin Booker's a better scorer.
I mean,
a better all-around player, but shooter, I wouldn't say he's the best shooter.
He's still a really good shooter, though.
Yeah, but not the greatest three-point shooter in the world. So
I don't know. He is
really good, but he's not like. But I mean, I'd take a few players above him for three-point shooting.
Yeah, but this doesn't mean he's a bad three-point.
No, I didn't say he was bad. I'm just saying I don't think he's like. I think people get this perception that Devin Booker's like a great three-point shooter, but I don't really think he's a great three-point shooter.
I think he will develop that shot.
Well, he may, but that's the easiest shot to develop. So
yeah,
that's the easiest part of your game to develop.
Yeah, but his mid-range game is insane.
Yeah, he's a good mid-range
and
shooter.
A really good finisher.
He's a good finisher.
And I think he's the best shooting guard in the league. So yeah, there you go. There's my top 30.
All right.
Do you have any other comments you want to say about my list?
I actually liked your top 10.
Thank you.
So I take Klay Thompson out, but I like your top 10 other than that.
I just love Klay.
Well,
and fake Klay.
I like Hamidou Diallo, but not in my top 10. All right, final takes. So I don't really have any final takes, but let's see what the Braves are doing. Oh, God. Losing to the Dodgers the other day.
Oh, God. You really want to talk about that?
No, I don't. Braves are up 3-2. Maybe they'll actually win. Deshaun Watson's. Oh, God. Did we actually lose him? We lost Will Hardy to the Jazz. He's one of our assistants. So, anyway. So.
You still have Ime.
That's true. Best coach in the league. So.
Yeah.
Who's better, Chris Finch?
No. But he's still not the best coach in the league.
No. Where do you think Chris Finch ranks? Let's say 15.
Top 15, yeah.
He's an average coach.
Whoa, this is his first year.
I know, but that's why he's average. So, I mean, he put Minnesota basically where, based on their roster, they should be.
Yeah.
So, he's an average coach.
But I still think if he finds a better point guard than D'Angelo Russell, I think they'll do a lot better.
Yeah, well, we'll see. They might. I mean, I don't think that's like the answer to all your problems. I think they need a much stronger bench.
Well, yeah.
A much stronger bench.
And better defenders.
Yes.
Jesus Christ. They're so bad defensively. Please get that fixed. Anyway.
DeJounte Murray will help with that.
Yeah, he's a great defender.
Touch the bottom of your thing.
Whoa.
Does yours make a noise?
Yeah.
It feels like my fingers catching on fire, too, when I do it.
Well, don't do it then.
Ooh. Okay. So we get distracted way too easily.
Yeah, we do. Thank you for that.
But I liked it too.
No, I didn't.
It was good.
But anyway, I do have one more final take. Stop looking at me like that. God. Anyway, the Colorado Avalanche, they won the Stanley Cup, beat the Lightning.
Lucas is going to become our NHL analyst on here.
Yeah, Lucas and Nathan.
Nathan's our baseball guy now.
I don't know. You're pretty much our baseball guy.
Yeah.
And basketball.
Yeah.
I'm football and hockey.
Yeah. And now Lucas.
Oh, and I'm pop culture.
Yeah. Because you knew the Jack Harlow meal.
Yeah.
No, please. Okay.
And Johnny Depp. Well, we all knew
Johnny Depp. Pirates of the Caribbean is my favorite movie. Well, I don't know about that. I really like it. Yeah, that's not true.
Shawshank Redemption.
But
Shawshank Redemption is a great movie.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No.
If you don't think that is a top 5 movie of all time.
Best movie of all time is Weekend at Bernie's. Okay, so we're going to go. I love that movie, man. And Mean Girls.
Oh, my God. Shut up.
All right, so that's all for episode number 13.
Please like.
For episode 14.
Please like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you all in the next video.
Okay, bye.